Steve, can you just run through the Kiwis and the boys who are under injury clouds and just it's exactly where they're at and their prospects of playing?
Yeah, Manu Vedavai, he trained today fully with the group today, so we'll just have to wait and see how he pulls up from today's session and make a call on him tomorrow. Frank Pritchard's going to have a run in the morning, which we'll make a call on tomorrow also. So, Roger trained with the group today and everyone else is good to go, but the two main concerns, those two, we'll make a call on them tomorrow.
So has Roger been cleared to play?
He trained today.
So he would be available if
I'm thinking he would be, yeah.
Is Frank still the biggest concern?
He is, yeah, he is. He isn't running fully, and it was a pretty significant strain of the hamstring. So, Frank's been an integral member of the group for the last few years, and we want to give him every opportunity we can to get him out there. But we'll just see how he runs tomorrow.
Stephen, having to name your team 48 hours before kick-off, does that make your job a little harder, having to wait on those guys who have got fitness issues?
No, not really. Again, I think we'll know tomorrow, first thing tomorrow morning when they have the run, and so that doesn't. The guys who played, Alex Glenn, played in Frank's position last week, or come off the bench last week, and also Jason Nightingale played over in Manu's position. So they're good to go if things don't work out for those two.
Simon and Cameron, what was it like to be able to get out there, I guess, and have a wee walk around on the pitch there?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I've been to one soccer game here, and that was my first time to Old Trafford, and it was a full house, and it's going to be a full house on the weekend, so it's going to be a special occasion.
Yeah, I'm a lot like Simon. I've been to one soccer game here when we first arrived in the UK, and it's pretty impressive. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere when we run out, and I know all of our guys are really keen to get out here. It's Old Trafford. There's been plenty of pretty special test matches played, so I think it won't be any different Saturday.
Cameron, how did it feel to have your hands on the trophy?
It felt good, but it doesn't really mean anything when you're just getting a photo with the opposition captain. I think Simon's got a bit more of an idea of what it feels like to lift it up after a victory, but we'll just have to wait and see come Saturday. It's all that matters is the 80 minutes that plays out on Saturday night.
Tim, what's the news on Billy? Have you got any news on Billy Slater's fitness?
Like Steve, Billy trained today. We'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. And then there'll be another session on Friday, I suppose. So it's just how he pulls up tomorrow. He trained well today.
How did he seem when he trained today?
He trained very well today.
Okay.
Are you confident that Billy will play?
I'm never confident about these things, but what I saw today, though, at least it gives us some hope that he will be available.
Is he improving every day?
Yeah.
Does it take the pressure off that you've got such good alternatives in that particular position?
Yeah, we have a few fullbacks. We've obviously got Greg Inglis would be there. I don't think that's anything but obvious. But and we work both systems today, so we're ready to do what we have to do if Bill's not available.
Are you surprised that Billy might be in contention for the weekend, considering the series?
No. A couple of years ago, he injured himself on a Monday in an Anzac Day test, which we played on the Friday badly, went over on an ankle, and he played, and you wouldn't have known there was a problem by the end of the week. So, no, he's pretty resilient. The other thing, of course, over here is it's 24/7 injury treatment, which, when you're home and you're going home, you don't get that. So here we've had 2 physios in camp working very, very well with him, and he's worked very hard and vigilant as well. So we're giving him every chance, but again, from a coach's point of view, you always plan for the worst case scenario.
Cameron, you're one of a number of quite high-profile Aussies. This is probably the last World Cup and your chance to win a World Cup. How mindful of you are that?
Well, I certainly haven't put a date on the last chance I'll play in a World Cup, so hopefully won't be the last. But look, I think myself and the guys that you're alluding to, like Gallen and Thurston, Billy. For us, it's an opportunity to win a World Cup. It's not we don't look at it as our last opportunity, and we don't see it as a chance to make up for what happened in 2008, because nothing will ever make up for that. The New Zealand boys won that, and they'll always be the champions. And so, we just want to go out there and play the very best we can for our football side. And if that results in a win, then that's great. If we play the very best we can as a team and it's not good enough, then so be it. But I think that's the great thing about this football side, is that we don't go out there trying to build a reputation of one match or one result. We're out there to do the very best we can for that game for our country, and that's the way we're approaching this match.
Is it hard though that you haven't got that one title, that one match that you talked about, that final?
No, not really, because myself personally, and I believe I can speak on behalf of most of the boys in the team, or all the boys in the team, that when our career comes to an end, whenever that may be, we're not going to look back and judge it off one match or one result. We'd like to think that we've done a fair few things over our career in multiple matches that people can look back on. But there's no doubt we'd love to win. There's no doubt about that. The Kiwi boys would love to win as well. But at the end of the 80 minutes, there's only going to be one winner, and hopefully that's us.
How much will the difference in intensity of the semi-finals be a factor in the final? Will it be a factor at all in your opinion? Typical.
Well, I know the intensity that we played at on Saturday was certainly, I've benefited to the group. I mean, we were pushed obviously right to the last 20 seconds, and I took a pretty brave performance from the lads to get themselves in a position where we could come out winners in that game. So again, I've got no doubt that's going to be of benefit. But we've got our performance in that game. Wasn't real good at certain stages of the match, and so we've got some real improvement that we need to do, and that's been our focus this week, is putting out our best performance, because I know regardless of Australia's game in the semi-final and how they've gone before, we're well aware of what they're going to throw at us, and so from our point of view, we understand that we need to be at our best and bring our best performance on Saturday.
This talk about undercooked, is it a fair view or not?
Fiji, we played them twice, and they're a big physical side, and when it's all said and done, they finished the fourth best team in the tournament, and the scoreline doesn't indicate just how much ice was on the guys after the game, I can tell you. So, they're a big side, which again prepares us for what is a big side in the New Zealand side this week. But what I was very happy about was the fact that we kept the pedal down for 80 minutes. We didn't drop off. During the tournament, other sides have dropped off at times in second half, and it would have been easy to do that and try to save yourself for the following week. But we, preparing for the final, we wanted to play the 80 minutes, and we did, and we've done that for the last month. So, I'm hoping that obviously that intensity is something that prepares us, and I'm sure it will, for what will be probably the most intense game of the tournament. That'll be this week against Kiwis.
Stephen, would you agree that you're underdogs this weekend?
Well, we've beaten Australia, twice in the last 5 years, and again, looking at their team, and we're well aware of what the calibre of player that they have. But again, I think for us, we do start as underdogs, but the lads are confident that if they can bring their best performance on Saturday, then we give ourselves a great opportunity. But the record's there. We've had 2 wins in the last 5 years, and You know, so for us, it's a matter of making sure that we turn up and give our best go.
Would you agree, Simon?
Yeah, I think the record speaks for itself. They've definitely had the wood over us of late, and they're a very consistent team, and you regard them as the best going around, and it's going to be a great challenge for us. Obviously, what's happened before doesn't count for much going into this one. It's who turns up and puts their best going forward and comes out on top on Saturday.